Okay, so I just did a video discussing the beings that this one Las Vegas resident had saw, and I've seen my own things, you know, supernatural or extraterrestrial or whatever you want to call it. So, and I was referencing Elijah and Elisha and the cloaking mechanism and stuff. And I had, because when I start doing that and I know that I've read this kind of thing before, then it makes me go and investigate. But he in First Kings 19:19, just a minute. You have to go back and read the whole thing to kind of get a reference. But a lot of times people think the Bible is not a literal thing. Sometimes they think that it's just a spiritual effect or metaphoric or whatever. But sometimes the Bible is scientific, and sometimes the Bible is actually telling you historic events, scientific events, from men and the creation of human beings and stuff. And this one is no exception, okay? Just a minute. Let's see. Let me go back and read this one first. Okay. This is Elijah talking to God. He said he came to a cave and camped there, and the word of the Lord came to him, and he said to him, "Why are you here, Elijah?" So you know I'm not bullshitting what I'm reading, right? And he said, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, Lord of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altar, and killed your prophet with the sword, and I alone am left. They seek to take my life." He said, "Go and stand on the mountain before the Lord." And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind split the mountains and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake came, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. When I see statements like this, when I see these kind of things and a period, not a question mark, it's making a statement. So it's letting you know that what's creating that earthquake and that wind was not that Lord speaking or doing, right? When it says that Lord was not in the wind and that Lord was not let's see, let me repeat it. That Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake came, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. It's telling a story. It's telling that other entities or beings are doing those things, right? Because there's a period. There's not a question mark. And after the earthquake, a fire came, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. When Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his cloak and went out and stood in the entrance of the cave. Why did he cloak himself? Why did he cloak himself from that small voice? What was Elijah doing? What did he have? Because people think this cloak is just a simple garment, right? But really the cloak was hiding him. Let's continue. And a voice came to him and said, "Why are you here, Elijah?" And he said, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, Lord of hosts, because the children of Israel forsaken your covenant, throwing down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword, and I alone am left, and they seek to take my life." Which is why he cloaked himself, right? Or was given a cloak, a garment, to prevent people from seeing him, okay? The Lord said to him, "Go return to the road, on the road, through the wilderness of Damascus, and when you arrive, anoint Hazael to be king of over Aram, and you shall anoint Jehu, the son of Nimshi. Where am I? To be king over Israel, and you shall anoint Elisha, the son of Shaphat, of Abel Meholah, to be the prophet of your place, in your place, and he who escapes the sword of Hazael will be killed by Jehu, and he will escape the sword of Jehu. Sword of Jehu will be killed by Elisha. Still, I have preserved 7,000 men in Israel for myself, all of whose knees have not bowed to Baal, and whose mouths have not kissed him. Basically giving him allegiance, right? So there are many Baal gods named in the Bible. There's probably over 400 plus different Baal gods named in the Bible. Okay? So he departed from there and found Elisha, the son of Japhat, who was plowing with 12 yokes of oxen before him, and he with the 12th. And Elisha passed by him and threw his cloak on him. Let's see here. And Elijah passed by him and threw his cloak on him. Why did he need to throw his cloak? He left the oven and ran after Elijah and said, "Please let me kiss my father and mother, and then I will follow you." And he said to him, "Go back, for what have I done to you?" So he returned from following him, and took a yoke of oxen and sacrificed them and boiled their flesh with the yokes from the oxen and gave it to the people, and they ate. Then he got up and went after Elijah and ministered to him. Okay, so let me just say this. There's more to the cloaking, right? People think that this cloak is just something, and that the cloaks, an invisible cloak is just given, or is, what is it? An hypothetical, or something that doesn't really exist. No, these things do exist. This technology does exist. These types of cloaking exist. So this garment that Elijah had, that he cloaked himself with, he also gave it to Elisha, who cloaked himself. So anyways, I say all this stuff to say that that when these alien beings that came out of the sky in Las Vegas, and they landed in the backyard of this family, and then lo and behold, their bodies were cloaked, or they cloaked themselves or hid themselves in plain nightlight, because it was at night. The technology exists, and it's also biblical. It's biblical.